And so what did you think when at the last city council meeting, all the council members, at least 6 or 7 out of the 9 of them, voted to increase raises for themselves 3 times what they were? What do you think about that?
Obviously, it's controversial, but I think that the casino coming to Danville is such a game changer. Being on city council has always been such an incredibly difficult job, especially at budget time. So it's nice that the city, because of the casino, we now have money to do things that we didn't before. So I'm sure that prior to the casino coming, they never would have voted themselves that raise because there wasn't money enough to even balance the budget. So I think it's a necessary evil.
Necessary evil. Can you explain what the opposite side of that is? Like, why do you think there is a downside of that?
The downside would be that if it's not a job that pays at least something close to what they deserve, then qualified people are not going to be interested. And it's very important to have qualified people on the city council.
And so what did you think of when the city council just decided in their last meeting to give themselves raises 3 times of what their normal salary was?
Well, I think it's a risky business. They obviously run the city with the old salaries for a century, and now all of a sudden there's a bonanza presumably because of the casino. And I understand the temptation to want to make more money. That's perfectly reasonable. But the peril is that the strength of Virginia has always been that it's a citizen government. The salaries of the legislature and the salaries are meant to be to force you to have other jobs. Whereas you have professional politicians like where I'm from in Massachusetts, where you're from in New York City, when you have professional politicians, it inevitably leads to corruption. And I worry that in the long term that's a risk for the city, for what's going to happen here in Danville. I hope it doesn't. I wish them luck, but it's going to be very dangerous for the next 10 years.
Oh, dangerous, you say?
Well, I was living in New Jersey when Atlantic City first opened up, and 3 mayors in a row, I think, went to prison.
So you're saying, this kind of new money that's coming in, politicians you think can get a little bit greedy, you say?
They are not used to handling the people who are in the business of corrupting politicians.
Interesting. Yeah, and so these people have, in the city council have other jobs too. This isn't their first job. And so I think they said they wanted this raise because they wanted more people to be, I guess they wanted to entice the position a little bit more. Would you say that would be true, or do you think that there's an ulterior motive? I
think that's, on the face of it, that's true. I think it was authorized by the state because the state sets, my understanding is, and I could be wrong, that the state passed a regulation that enabled them to raise their salaries, which they immediately did. But like I said, I'm not talking about any particular individual. I'm just talking about the temptation. The temptation is going to be greater, and it's going to be, we'll see what happens.
Thanks for watching the ABC 13 YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos and live coverage and local stories, click to subscribe and download our ABC 13 News app.